Welcome in, everybody, and welcome to Not Wasting Time. Tina is out supposedly buying a castle, so I am filled in today with my friend Jason, also known as Flipper,
Hi.
fellow teammate. Go team! What are we called?
Uh, the flux capacitors or the
The flux
fluxers or something?
capacitors. Yeah. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, this and that was doing a Biggest Loser weight loss team, and me and Flipper ended up on the same team. Now, if we can just keep Tina from sabotaging Flipper, we'll be good.
Yes. No cookies. Yeah, if it's in the house, I have to get rid of it.
That's not good. First things first, let's thanks the Live Place from Dean from the liveplace.com. You want to find the family friendly streamer, go to the liveplace.com. Welcome in my chat. Let's see who we have here. We had Jonathan Chong, who was here first. Welcome in, Jonathan. Christine Hickman, Annie Coog, Daniel Disinfinity, welcome in. So how's everybody doing? How you doing, Flipper?
I'm good. I'm a little hungry, but I'm good.
It's been an interesting day. I didn't do my lunch was not so well. I did some beer battered fish with some munchos for lunch.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it was yeah.
I drink tea all day.
Oh yeah, I got these things that 5 calories per. Lisa, it's Joey World. Welcome in. Hashtag Joey Rocks. Time to make time traveling car flipper. Yes, see, that's what you should. You get that flux capacitor. You make one of those vehicles your time machine, and you can go back in time, and then you could just keep working.
That would be nice. But it wouldn't be a car. It'll have to be definitely that steam engine from Back to the Future Part 3.
And welcome in, Nick, Movie Mania Nick.
What's
Welcome
up, guys?
in. This is probably your first time streaming with me. Thank you for jumping in.
This is actually the first time live streaming with anybody.
Really?
So, yeah.
If you guys don't know, this is Nick from Movie Mania Nick. He's the one who gave me the idea for time travel segment on my show. And then when I got done, I think you watched a replay, and then
Yes, I did.
Dude, you totally missed a whole bunch of time traveling movies.
I know. Sorry, man.
No, which is good because it gives another perspective. Welcome in, Kay Atwood. So what did I miss? And I know you said it, and it's here somewhere. What do you think of your time travel movies?
My time travel movies?
What's your go-to time travel movie?
Like, Back to the Future, of course. That's my number one right there.
Welcome in, Blue Machiza. Yeah. When you're talking Back to the Future, and when you're talking Back to the Future, you got to talk Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, because it seems like Doc went in 1 and 2. He had a specific theory of time travel, and then at the end of the third movie, he totally disregards his whole theory.
Yeah, he kind of does. It's kind of weird. I don't know how he does it, but it is kind of weird.
Unless he's thinking that with the teacher was supposed to be gone because the ravine was named after, or Clara Barton was supposed to be gone and out of the timeline, her taking her out of that timeline and them going to other areas wouldn't affect the timeline that they would know.
Yes. Because you remember from the movie, it started as Clayton Ravine.
Correct.
And then it was the Eastwood Ravine, right?
At the end,
yes.
Yep. Yeah. At the end of it, because he had named himself Eastwood in the Old West. Welcome in, Amy, AJC Magic. So maybe his thought process behind that, Doc Brown's thought process behind that was without Clara in the normal timeline, with her keeping him, he probably would have messed up the timeline in the Old West.
Exactly. Yep.
I could see that.
In the end, it might be just human emotion overcoming logical rationalness.
Well, let's see. There are so many other time travel movies that Time After Time. I don't remember that one. Could you? Which one is that?
Time After Time.
Let me see if I could pull that up.
Yeah. I know. I have a list here. Here. This is all my list right here of all the movies I have to watch of time travel or that I've seen. I got like 3 pages worth, and I do movie reviews on it. That's a
Oh, do
lot.
you?
I know the ones I saw was let's see, where is it? I think Time Stalkers. You ever see that film?
No.
That's an interesting film. I think it came out in the early 1980s.
Time Stalkers, 1987. That was with William Devine. I don't even
Yep.
know that one. Laura Hutton, John Ratzenberger, Forrest Tucker.
It's a very interesting film.
Let's see, what do they say? History professor becomes involved with 2 time travelers from the year 2586 after making the discovery of an old photograph in 1886. Huh. Never even heard of that one. Time after. Now, what about TV shows? I don't know
TV
how much.
shows. Of course, Quantum Leap.
Oh, Quantum Leap's always a great
That's my
TV
number
show.
one. You know, to put right what once went wrong. That was such an awesome show, and with Scott Bakula that played Sam Beckett, and Dean Stockwell that played Al Calavici. Awesome.
I do remember that. Remember, there was the one episode where they switched, and Sam got
Yes.
to go back, and he was into the future,
Yes.
and then,
Yeah, because that was the episode I think where he met, or not met, but he caught up with his wife or girlfriend, and they spent like a day or a couple days. But then at the end of the show, he realized he had to go back because Al was in trouble and he had to go help him out. So eventually he went back into the I guess the time accelerator, or what they called it.
correct.
He leapt back in.
Yeah. So Time After Time was a movie that was in 1979.
Was that the one
HG
Christopher Reeves?
Malcolm McDowell, David Warner, Mary Steenburgen, Charles. I don't see Christopher Reeve on this one.
I know there was a Christopher Reeves. He was in a time travel film.
H.G. Wells pursues Jack the Ripper in the 20th century. Then the serial murderer uses the future's writer's time machine to escape this time period. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Someone else put in here. Now, Sliders, I don't consider a time travel movie or a time travel series. Sliders is more of a time is jumping paradox to paradox.
Yeah.
So I used to love Sliders, and I got kind of tired of it after a while. I think it got really. Jason, do you remember that show?
No, not Sliders.
Oh,
But I think I'm gonna have to go because the real star has arrived home with, I think, the castle. But I wanted to throw this one out there. Who remembers that movie, The Flight of the Navigator?
I do. It's actually a Disney movie.
I love that movie.
It's a good film.
And there's time travel, and I as I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, he went into the future, then he had to get back. So,
Right. Bloomin' Cheese says Arnold Terminator. We did mention Terminator last week, and Terminator is one of those weird ones where they just sent you back in time and it was a one-way trip. Now, I do remember when South Park picked on that.
Hmm.
Do you remember when South Park picked on they sent people from the future back in time so they can earn money for their future selves to have money?
Yes, I remember that one.
all right, I gotta go. See you later.
See ya.
Flipper, thanks for subbing in.
You fix my camera, please. Oh my gosh. What the mess?
Which movie? Christopher Reeve time travel movie was Somewhere in Time.
Turn the brightness down.
Tina, this is Nick. Nick, this is Tina.
Hi,
Nick.
Tina. What's up?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good thing.
Uh,
I know we do a lot of chat back and forth on Instagram. So
I know. Nikki.
Stevie Lee, what we're chatting about today is time travel series, or time travel movies. What movies have you watched that you like with time travel, Tina, other than Harry Potter?
Oh, come on. It's like you took my first answer. Well, obviously, Back to the Future is one of my favorites.
Correct.
Probably my favorite time travel movie as far as TV shows, definitely Doctor Who.
Yes, Doctor Who is definitely one of the classic ones. And I remember I think the one I said last week, I remember the only reason why I remember this one is was it The Voyagers? You remember that show at all? It was a kid and an adult, and they had a little like a pocket watch, and they would jump around in time.
I barely remember it.
The only reason why I remember, because the one episode I remember out of this the most was they jumped back to a time when Alexander Graham Bell, no, was it Alexander? No, Edison hadn't invented the light bulb yet.
Oh.
And Edison had took apart his time watch because it had a light on it, and he couldn't get around the idea that it was a light there. That's the only thing I remember about that show.
What was it called?
Voyagers. It was only like a 1-season show from 82 to 83.
I'll look that up.
There's another show. It was on Sci-Fi. You ever heard of the show Continuum?
No.
I've heard of it, but I never seen it.
That was a weird one where like terrorists went back in time to change the future, and this one cop went back, and she had to convince the people in the current timeline that she was working. I think that went from 2002 to 2015 on the Sci-Fi Channel. And Annie says, yes, she wasn't born yet. Well, some of us are a little older then. Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry to interrupt. But how about, you ever see the show 7 Days?
7 Days.
It came out like late 90s and it lasted till like 2001 or 2. It starred Anthony LaPaglia. It's basically about an ex-CIA agent, and he was hired as a time travel project. And basically what happened is the project would be, when something bad would happen, they would have to actually wait 7 days, hence the TV show name. And he would travel back into the past and change the past. And when he would come back, everything would change.
Oh.
I didn't know. I haven't even heard of this one.
That was a good show too.
Well, Lost, I don't know if it's considered time travel but they jump. I don't think anybody physically jumped in time in Lost. I don't remember. I think, listen, and I'll be perfectly honest, about the first season of Lost had me hooked. I got into the second season of Lost, and I was like, you got to start answering questions before you ask new ones. And I kind of just like, it just got me. But that's one of those shows where you have to be in for the long haul.
You know, I never really got into it.
Right. And there was The Wrinkle in Time. That was an interesting one. I haven't seen that one, but I think Tomorrowland was somewhat of a time travel type, or was Tomorrowland I did watch.
The movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw the Wrinkle in Time movie. That was not good.
It wasn't good?
In my opinion, it wasn't good.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. Hold on. I'm too bright. Hold on.
You can never be too bright. Annie said she never finished the series. I never watched Wrinkle in Time. I know Disney has an issue with trying to give a good live studio new movie instead of like a remake of their animated ones, and it's tough for them to kind of get that niche. I mean, why do you think they're buying up other properties? Because they are making money.
Yeah. Not The Notebook. Stevie wants to know if The Notebook is a time traveling movie. Not The Notebook. Well, no, it's like flashbacks. The Time Traveler's Wife is a time traveling movie, which is another Nicholas Sparks.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just waving for the people that are saying hi to me.
Oh,
I don't want to interrupt Tina when she's speaking. So
Sorry.
the Highlander series. The Highlander wasn't really time travel. That was more of a flashback and forward.
yeah,
I guess you could say when they brought. I mean, the first movie was excellent, and then the second movie was kind of. I
It
did
was
like
okay.
the series.
It was okay. The series was good too. I like that. But the first movie was pretty good.
Now, do you remember the recent time traveling show that was on NBC called Timeless?
Yes, I did watch that.
That was actually a pretty good one, a pretty good concept of time travel, and it gave the social and economical issues that had it was a 3-member team. One person was a person of color, and they're jumping in time, and then you had to deal with what goes on in different time periods.
Can you just tell me for a second that I watched the entire series, I say the 2 seasons, I guess it was, but I missed the season finales.
Yeah, me too.
I
It finished in 2018. I think it was canceled way too quick.
Yes, they didn't give it a chance. I don't think.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know any of this stuff.
What's that?
I don't know any of this stuff, so news to me.
It's
You're
news to you.
missing out.
I guess so. Living under a rock.
Too much YouTube to watch.
Seriously. Seriously. I'd rather watch you guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd be remiss, and since my co-host isn't here today, Outlander. Now, if anybody knows about Outlander, Kenzie and Billy does. I don't know if Billy started watching it for the guy who plays the main character. Maybe.
Which I don't understand if she did, because he's not that.
She thought he would have made an excellent Thor.
Oh gosh, no. Oh, Chris Helmsworth nails Thor. Oh my gosh. Not my favorite character, but he was perfect for that fit. Yeah, for that role. Perfect fit for that role.
And Land of the Lost, I see someone put in Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost is a weird one because it technically isn't a time travel. I think that's more of a time frozen. And Bloom and Cheese comes up with a good one. Jetsons meet the Flintstone. That was Hanna-Barbera
Yep.
when they went back in time.
That is a good one.
There's another one on Netflix, which is it is a time traveling movie, or a series, but it's not based about time travel, and that is The Umbrella Academy. I don't know if anybody have caught The Umbrella Academy.
That was the newest series, right? Like a new
Yes, it's on their it's on their second. They did 2 seasons, and we got to the end of the first season, and we haven't jumped into the second season, which is really weird. Welcome in Michael and Bella's Travel Channel.
Guys.
Is
it on Netflix?
Yes, it's actually a really good. The first season was really good. What it dealt with is there's a bunch of kids born on the same day, mystically, like they were. The people that gave birth to them wasn't pregnant in the beginning of the day, but ended up having a kid at the end of the day. And this one guy took and got at least 9 of them and created the Umbrella Academy. They made them all like superheroes. One of them could actually distort time.
Interesting.
And then he actually jumps ahead of time and gets stuck there. And they bring him into almost what we're getting in with the Loki series, the Time Police, where he has to go through time and do certain things. And he goes back into the current timeline. And while in where he finally jumps back to where he is, he's an old man. He jumps back into his younger body self. Or he jumps back at like 10 years later or something like that. He jumps back in and he and he's now like a 17-year-old, and everybody else is in their older age, or not older age, but in their 20s, and he's supposed to stop this imminent destruction of all of the world.
Interesting.
Welcome in, Sherry, Surfer Girl.
Hey, Sherry.
And Stevie Lee said she's watched the Umbrella Academy, but got to season 2 and was immediately confused. Yeah, and then that's what I'm afraid of. That's the one thing about time travel TV series is the first season might be really good, or even a lot of sci-fi series could be really good, and then you get to that second season, they don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Heroes. Heroes is a time traveling show too, because was it the Asian guy goes back in time and says he has to save the cheerleader, right?
I haven't seen Heroes. Was that with what's her name? Was it Anna Paquin?
No. Anna
No.
Paquin was in True Blood.
Yeah, not Anna Paquin. Oh goodness gracious! Of course, I'm gonna pull her name up, and it's gonna. What's her name? Hayden Panettiere. That's her name. Oh, Milo Ventimiglia. I can't even say his name. Is in that too. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. I just haven't seen it.
What show was I talking about?
Heroes. You said.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm shot. I've been working all day.
Man. Yes, the blonde Stevie. Well, actually, there's a couple of blondes in that, and one of them. Oh, what's that movie she was in? Allie Lauder. That's her name. Wow.
So you had a couple more, Nick.
A couple more with the time travel stuff, movies and stuff.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Experiment. I kind of breezed on that one. So what's the Philadelphia Experiment one?
Philadelphia Experiment is basically I think it's a Navy or whatever. It's one of the ships, and they're out in sea, and then all of a sudden they go through this time warp kind of deal. It's like I said, it's a very interesting but weird movie at the same time. And I'm trying to remember the guy. They go back into the past, or he goes back. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying.
That's all right.
I haven't seen it in a while, so I know there's one scene where they're on the ship, and then one of the guys, he actually falls overboard, and the one guy, he stays in the past, but the guy in the ship, he goes, I guess, into the past. So the guy that fell over, he's stuck in that timeline. So all of a sudden, as years go by, he sees his old friend again, which he's completely aged. But the other guy, he's still young looking.
Really?
Yeah. But his friend, he went through psychological stuff because he was trying to say, oh, there's a time travel thing and this and that. But people thought he was a little crazy. Yeah. So he went to like a mental ward. And basically what happened at the end there, somehow he gets back on the ship somehow. But it was really weird at the end because I remember that everybody on the ship, when they came back, everybody was like, their bodies were all distorted on the ship. So half their body was through the metal and half of it was outside.
Wow.
It was really weird. It's a really weird movie.
See, I thought that
it has a good storyline.
And what else is there? Bloom and Cheese had said Doctor Who. Doctor Who is if anybody's talking about time travel as far as TV series, you cannot beat Doctor Who.
No.
You know?
The crop.
Welcome in, Princess Bella. Or Princess Paula Bell. Time travel is one of those words. Now, what I'm trying to think of. What do you think with the time travel that was explained in Avengers compared to what other time travels movies happen to say? You know, it's weird how they described it, and they were trying to say that they had done a lot of talk with a lot of people in the field, and they were like, "This is how time travel really should be." But I'm kind of like, but that doesn't work in your current theory, you know. And like, say the paradox of there is a Terminator paradox. If you look at it, if John Reese never gets sent back, John Connor never gets born.
Yep.
And John Connor is the one who sends John Reese back. So, you know, it is a paradox. And then, you know, there's always going to be that, I guess, that ending event. So, you know, are they always going to say that it's always going to happen? You know, and I guess that's where, like, when you talk about the Time Machine, the remake of the Time Machine or the Time Machine movie, a fixed event is always going to happen. If someone's going to pass away, and I think when you're talking about, if someone's going to pass away, they're always going to pass away at that time frame. It's not going to change anything. And I think you see this in Groundhog Day too, right?
Yes.
You know, when he goes to try to save the old man, no matter what happens, the old man passes away, and he finally says, you know, it's when it's a certain person's time to go, it's time to go.
Has there ever been any show or movie that has actually ever successfully actually changed that we know of?
Well, you got I don't know, because I mean, and that's when you're talking about like the Time Machine portion, is his fiance was young, and it was and she would always have that accident, right? Mm-hmm. And in Groundhog's Day, it was the older guy. It was just his time to leave. So that's why he ends up going through. If you look at it, he does save a lot of other people throughout the day. Mm-hmm. You know, he saves the mayor from choking. He saves the kid from falling out of the tree. Could that have been? Could there have something been different there? And some people are. And Princess Belle, Back to the Future. You know, that's always a great show. And what I liked about, I'm going to get to Back to the Future, and I could see one. And just thinking about it now, I have an issue with how it works. Go ahead, there, Nick.
How about Time Cop? Time Cop is one that they changed. Because if you remember in the beginning of the movie, the house blew up with his wife.
Correct.
At the end of the movie, he saved her. They lived a happy life.
I forgot all about that movie. Oh my gosh. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Man.
BJ Gillespie says, I think the movie was called The Final Countdown. It had Kirk Douglas. Aircraft carrier goes back to a few days before Pearl Harbor. I don't remember that one.
Oh. Sounds like a good one, though.
And then you have, what about Back to the Future? We already talked about Alice Through the Looking Glass. Now, is that a time travel? I don't remember how Alice Through the Looking Glass. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I don't know. I guess it could be. But which one? Alice Through the Looking Glass? Because there's been a few. Or maybe it's just the story in general that would make it time travel. Because I don't know.
Well, I mean, you do have time that's involved with it. It's kind of, you know. And right. Annie, I did say Hot Tub Time Machine last week. That's a great movie for.
That's a good film. I like it.
For an adolescent's male's humor.
Are you serious?
What? My humor is about 17 years old.
Yeah, oh, that's true. That's a good point.
It is a fun movie, though.
Oh, it's one of those. That's all right, Annie. I mean, it's in the past, and I have no problem talking about what we what we talked about last year. Or last year. Oh my gosh. I need a vacation.
Yeah. Soon. And I'm sure you're going to rub it in. Don't worry.
What? It's only 9 days from today.
Oh, it's only. Only.
I'm jealous.
Right?
When's your next trip?
Mine? Actually, I'm planning it right now. I think Walt's trying to help me out here. He's going to try and give me some maps of the parks so I
Okay.
can study. And I'm just going to write some stuff down, like I've been watching the DePhilly Cruise channel when they had all the restaurants and stuff, so I know where to go to eat. And
You've been there before, though, right?
yeah, I was there 2 years ago. I was
Oh.
there. I was at Epcot 2 years ago, but actually I was there for MegaCon. But I stopped at some of the parks.
MegaCon?
Yeah, it's a Comic-Con.
Uh,
Yeah.
My daughter would love that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fun.
All right, so now here's my thought process. What's up, Keith? Joey's best bud.
Keith.
If you're talking about Back to the Future, right? When he jumps back to in Back to the Future 2, he jumps back to in 1988 and he gets to the timeline where
The alternate.
the alternate timeline, he shouldn't be able to jump back to that alternate timeline. Because the vehicle, the car would never have been made. So the vehicle should have disappeared before they ever had a chance to jump ahead.
I just thought of
What's that?
nothing.
No.
No. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just thought so. It's not time travel esque, but is a part in Halloween Town 2, if you've seen it, where there's like this whole big like time travel thing, and at the time through a portal, and yeah, I love that part. But that was good too.
It was good. Tracy
But-
getting back. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Tracy, getting back to that point, you are right. There would be no time machine because if you think about it, Doc went to the
Gets
loony
arrested.
bin. Yeah.
Right?
He would have never made the time machine.
So, I mean, they're in the future, right? So you're talking time, part 2, right? They go into the future. Old Biff recognizes the time machine. He jumps back to 1985. So, no, they can jump to that time because they go from the future back to 1988. But then again, once Biff goes all the way back to 1955, it should have changed.
He originally, Biff originally he took the time machine from the future. He goes back to 1955, where he has the almanac. Remember, he gives
Correct.
himself the young Biff the almanac. So the past Biff, the younger Biff, I should say, 30 years later, he's like a 50-something-year-old man or whatever he is. He's rich because he.
Right. So technically, as soon as Biff goes back in time, the original time machine should have disappeared. Because that was the whole idea behind Marty going back to 1955 when he had messed up the relationship between his mother and father.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
All his siblings were starting to disappear.
Exactly. Which why in that moment in time when that scene, well, do you remember like in the future when Biff goes back though? Because remember that scene where older Biff disappears?
Right. But older Biff should have never made it back to that current timeline where Marty and...
No, because he automatically disappears. So that's kind of weird.
So I'm going to say welcome in Joey's best bud. I think and Will, Hitchhiking Bones. What's that?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
I said twice. You welcomed Keith in twice, so I was making fun of you.
That's true. I do make in fun of you a lot with your accent, so it's
And that's
It's,
the only thing I got on you.
yeah, Pleasantville. No, Pleasantville. That the one where everything turns color?
Yeah, that's with Toby Maguire. Yeah,
And
because he eats something and then everything turns color or something like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
but that there they jump into a TV, right?
it's a TV show. It's not really time travel per se.
But it's a 50s TV show, and then
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, thank you, Walt. I'm trying to make a good impression on Nick, It's his first stream with other people.
I know. How do you feel about that? You kind of you. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, because Chris watches this. I'm getting sound bited, and I'm
No,
not having that.
go ahead.
I was
Does it
gonna
start
say
with a V?
your Chris's first is what I was gonna say. I mean Nick's first. Names. Yeah, Will, I tried to talk Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, but Tracy would not let me.
Okay, go ahead. Let's talk. But here's the problem I have with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, right? If you that time travel, it's pretty much absolutely 100% fate, correct?
Fate?
Really, when you're looking at it, is when you talk about Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
In the first time when you're watching it, he gets hit in the back of the head, right?
Yeah.
Then he hears the werewolf howl.
Mhm.
So when they get the time travel, the time turner, and they go back to that original time, and then they start doing everything. It's Hermione who throws the rock and hits Harry.
Yep.
It's Harry who howls as a wolf it was Hermione who howls as a wolf to distract Professor Lupin. And it's Harry who conjures the Patronus charm, who he thought in the first time around was his father. And then he had said he had known he could do it because he had seen himself do it. After a while, he realized it wasn't his father, it was him. So if you're looking at that time travel, everything happens. It's pretty much the time machine rules. Everything happens. It's going to happen. And the same thing with the original Terminator. The Terminator 1 is that paradox. Everything has to happen.
Right.
And Men in Black 3, someone put that in there. I think it was Walt. Men in Black 3 was an interesting time travel movie because, again, if you look at it, it's again a fate thing. We find out why Agent J was chosen. We find out, how everything was done. That's another one of those paradoxes. It's everything has a reason, and there's a reason, and it explains why the reason happens.
Yep.
And why Kay becomes so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he jumps back in time, Kay's just one of those, pretty much reminds you of Jay when they first started. But I did like Men in Black 3. I know a lot of people didn't give it the credit that it deserves.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even see the second one. I didn't even like the first one.
You didn't like the first one?
No. I don't like alien movies, and it was funny, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
So let's see. What's another time travel? Anybody else got one?
Trying to think.
I know there was a lot of. There's so many good ones, and maybe one of these things I'm just going to do a sci-fi, all around sci-fi. Now, we do have time travel in Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. You remember that one?
Star Trek.
Wait, the original Star Trek?
I remember that.
The original Star Trek, The Voyage Home, the Earth is being trying to be contacted from an an entity, but it's speaking whale. But there hasn't been a humpback whale on Earth in millennia. So Kirk and his crew goes back in time with a bird of prey to capture a humpback whale to bring it to their current time, their timeline, so the entity in space could be answered. It's always a weird one because, like, Star Trek has always been weird for me because there's a lot of things that you see once and you never see again.
Mm-hmm.
How about would Star Trek Generations be one? In a way?
Yeah, I think you can, because this whole Nexus thing kind of gives you. I think the Nexus is what's considered a paradox or a fourth dimension ripple, where there is no time. It's just there. And Kay Atwood, yes, DC, the TV shows in DC. When you get into Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow really doesn't deal much with time travel, I guess, if you talk about the Infinite Earths. But Flash and Arrow definitely, Legends of Tomorrow definitely deal with time travel. And it's interesting because I did get into Legends of Tomorrow for a little bit. And Flash has that whole where you run fast enough, he can create travel in time or travel in different dimensions. If you talked about the time that he went to visit Supergirl, and then there's things that when he goes back into the current timeline, things have changed. Like I think there was a son that was originally a daughter. And then there's a bunch of interesting stuff with the Legend, and then Legends of Tomorrow. You know, when you look at that and the original episodes and the first episodes of Legend Tomorrow is actually the main character is Rory from Doctor Who.
So,
well, it's not the same character, same actor.
Okay. So it's a question. Movies like Groundhog Day that have the loop, is that like a loop time travel? Is that what that's called?
I would consider that a loop.
Just a loop.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of Edge of Tomorrow, which is also a loop time travel type movie, which I have not seen, but I was looking it up. 12 Monkeys, which I had no idea was a time travel movie. But also, did you talk about Time Bandits?
I think we were trying, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Because I'm doing some research, and I had no idea. But then this one, I think I really I'm gonna watch this one tonight. About Time with Rachel McAdams and Bill Nighy and Domhnall Gleeson, who plays one of the Potter brothers in the latest Harry Potter series, about a father and son that time travel. So just some good ones to check out. Just throwing out some options.
Hold on a second. Someone just walked in.
It wasn't me. What about the time travel in the DC Comics show Arrow, Flash, and DC Legends of Tomorrow? I've never seen those.
What am I talking about, Outlander?
Because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay.
I got to start something.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
How you doing, Kenzie?
Good. I got my hair cut and dyed today.
Oh, that's right. It looks different.
I no longer have blonde roots, and it's much shorter now. So
Now
it's not going to be horrible in Disney.
I was going to say, are you going for the full Loki look with the all black? Short all black.
Might be a part of it, but so Outlander, it's got some really interesting time travel because the whole premise is that Claire, who was a World War II nurse from the 40s, accidentally travels back in time to 18th century Scotland, which is like the 1700s, and Claire ends up, she's British, and this is in the middle of a war between the Scots and the British. And so she's kind of caught in a really tough place. And she ends up, since she was a nurse, she's able to help a lot of people, which can also get her in trouble because she's so knowledgeable. People think she's a witch, stuff like that. The fact that she's able to heal people so well. It's a really interesting story, and she uses her knowledge of the future regarding, the Battle of Culloden, all that kind of stuff regarding Scottish history. She's able to use that for her advantage because she's able to help the Scots and basically be like, this is something that's going to happen. This is the best way to prepare for it. Mm-hmm. It's a really interesting story, and obviously there's more to it. There's a lot of romance. There's a lot of fighting. It's really amazing. It's a good show. My mom and I love it. She's read the books. I haven't because I don't have time to read right now.
Gotcha.
So, Ken's, that's Nick, Movie Mania Nick.
I saw. Hello.
Nick, this is
You
Ken's.
didn't say anything about my hair. Thank you.
It's black.
Yeah, I got it re-dyed and now it's short.
It looks nice.
Yeah, I only said that because I asked you.
You know
He
something.
wouldn't have said anything if
Yes,
I
I
hadn't.
would have. I seen your black hair when you came in. I said,
And you didn't say a thing.
because I had
Talk about your time travel. Talk about your time travel.
If I can go back in time and say your hair looked nice when you it would be great, huh?
It would, yeah.
Who's got a time turner?
I have one somewhere. I have a time turner. I used to have the ring from Lord of the Rings. I don't know where it went. I used to have the one ring, and now it's lost. It is not.
It's lost
Safe.
in time.
Well, it was not kept hidden, and it was not kept safe. There's no time travel in Lord of the Rings.
No, there's no time travel in Lord of the Rings.
I was trying to find a way to bring it to Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. Matt and I haven't finished
Whatever.
the end of it yet. We have one more movie left.
So what else is there?
There's so many messages.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I have like a million messages in my chat.
Get out.
Okay.
Never gets old.
Oh my gosh.
What never gets old? Me and her?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just asking.
Not anymore. I'm done.
What?
I have to put it. Sorry, hold on a second.
Oh my gosh. So did Tracy ask you what? Oh, never mind. I know what your favorite time travel movie is. But for those that don't know, what is your favorite time travel movie?
Back to the Future.
Which one though? Do you have a favorite out of the three?
I like all of them.
Really?
All three. Yes.
Okay. Number 2 is my favorite. So, and Jason's favorite's number 3. So,
Well, that's because it's a Western.
well, it's because there's a train in it, and he loves trains.
Oh, Jason goes and watches trains.
He loves anything trains, anything. So yeah.
I actually just seen a TikTok where a guy explained why the train tracks are a certain width. And all.
Really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And I guess what's it? 4 feet 8.5 inches is the length of the trail, and it comes back to that's where all, and it leads all the way back to the ruts that were in the ruts that were in the road. That's how the wagons were. They decided because everything else would have destroyed like the wooden wheels and everything. It leads back to who created their original roads in England, which are the
Nice.
Romans. And it was wide enough to encompass 2 horses' butts.
That's interesting. Odd, but interesting.
Fun facts.
Fun
I
fact.
know. I know. The things you learn. Hey.
So, Nick, what'd you think? Was it fun your first time in?
Oh yeah, it was fun. I had a blast. Thanks for inviting me.
No,
I appreciate it.
and it seems like you're a fellow nerd like me.
Yes. Mostly 80s nostalgia stuff.
Oh, 80s nostalgia.
I think I sense another 80s stream on my channel soon with Nick in it. Channeling.
You're gonna get hooked, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you the truth, I think I was already hooked watching all you guys' vlogs and videos and stuff, streams.
That's how it
I was
starts.
hooked ever since.
Mhm.
The more
just-
you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think there was time travel in G.I. Joe.
No, I don't think
No.
so. No.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
And yes, it was great to see Nick on stream. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah, and expect a couple more invites every once in a while, even for the goofy, stupid stuff that we do.
Sure.
We
Not
do
that
a
we
lot.
do a lot of goofy and stupid stuff. So next week, I don't know exactly what I should do. I mean, I should be packing next Thursday.
Are you gonna stream just to rub it in our faces? And then
Nah,
I'm gonna
why?
take my Reese shirt. Oh, and my second Reese shirt that says Tracy Glenn. I'm
Or
gonna
my
fold
third-
it.
Or my third Reese shirt.
Tracy, are you gonna do more cartwheels with Jeff?
Well, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I do know that Kenzie will expect me to do something silly if she hits 1K while she's down there, or even before we get down there. And she's close. She did get up overnight. She got to 900, and then I guess they did a reset and took 2 of them away, so she's back under 900. She's not happy about that, but
I hate when they do that.
It goes up and down. It's weird.
Yeah.
it's weird. And I actually got a message. I was on with VP the other day. Me and Ken's we did a VP interview. That's when she hit her 9. And somebody messaged me saying that it was the first time that someone had met me and Kenzie or watched one of the streams, and they went back to see some of my old videos, and they actually came up upon the hot pepperoni sandwich, and they made the hot pepperoni sandwich at where they are, and they're absolutely loved it. So
Nice.
if I can, if there's one thing I want to do is bring hot pepperoni sandwiches to the world.
All right, here's a question with that.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I wrote it in chat the other day. I think you did comment. Remember, I said it was something. It's like almost like a stromboli, pepperoni
Well, it's
stromboli.
not a stromboli. Well, a
without the
stromboli.
sauce.
Well, the stromboli, you still like. I've attempted a stromboli at least a couple times, and the stromboli is you actually roll the sauce and the pepperoni in a dough, and then you bake it all at once. This here is just sauce and pepperoni sitting in a crock pot for about 4 hours,
I did see that. I did see that stream. It did look really good, though.
and then you just take it in a like a hoagie roll, slap it in a hoagie roll, put some mozzarella in it, and put it on in the oven. And if you want to parm it, and there's some places that don't parm it, they just take the hoagie roll, throw it right in there, and eat the pepperoni like that.
Hmm.
Another version is you could do a pepperoni dog. So you're doing the sauce, you have your hot dog, and you throw your pepperoni sauce the same as I did for the hot pepperoni. Throw it on your hot dog, and you have a pepperoni hot dog,
That sounds good.
which is actually really good.
Yeah.
So we're about 5 minutes away from the end of the stream. I want to thank you, Nick, for coming on. Again, Tina, I always appreciate you coming on because, we're Rift and Raft.
Mm-hmm.
What about us?
Well, me and you, we're just like oil and water at times.
It happens.
It might happen every once in a while.
We're gonna do our best to not let it happen in Disney this year. I don't want Matt dealing.
Carlos, I did see you come in earlier. Thank you for being here, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
See, and I'll have to pack my sweatshirt because it's already down there,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Unless it's over in Rhode Island. I might have to drive to Rhode Island to get that before I pack it. But then again, why would I be packing a sweatshirt if I'm going to Florida?
That's true. Too hot.
So, Tina, what do you got coming up? I know.
Tonight I'm on with Gonzo at 10:30 for Throwback Thursday. We're doing Newsies movie trivia. Tomorrow I might do a pop-up hangout stream, and show off some of the things that I got at the thrift store today, the antique store today. Because I did go back. If you didn't see yesterday's show, Wednesday, whatever, this on my channel, we went looking for Disney antiques, and I found something. So I think I might show it off. And then yeah, I'm around various places. Probably on with Chris 9:30 on his channel, Dad Builds, on Saturday night. Monday's book club, and then Wednesday, whateverness again next Wednesday. So yeah.
Movie Mania Nick, I see. I'm going to drop your link for your channel in there, and I'm happy that you decided to come on. You're doing pretty well. I've watched a couple of your vlogs here
Thank you.
and hit a like button here or there. So I haven't gotten to a lot of it. You're well over 1K on that. Did you get monetized already, or?
Unfortunately, no, because I have the 1,000, but I don't have the watch hours. That's the thing I need.
Yeah, that's what gets you.
So, yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I have a lot of stuff out there. So,
yeah, I mean, I went back. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So, guys, if you haven't already, go check out Movie Mania Nick. Put on a playlist. Let's get him some watch hours.
Yep.
And I got another movie to think about. American Pickle. It drives a guy into a pickle
pickled for 100 years.
Saying look, but I watched it on HBO Max. It's probably a reason why it's on HBO Max, Bloom and Cheesa.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that sounds more or less like a Netflix movie. And I tell you what, sometimes Netflix movies gets really weird.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you guys for being here. Chat, I want to thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, please hit out the thumbs up button below. If you're new or just come across me on replay, consider subscribing. My friends Diz or Dream, Jeff and Angela, in the next hour, it is the ultimate chicken nugget challenge.
Yes.
It's gonna be epic. I can't wait.
The chicken
to watch
nugget
it.
challenge. If you haven't seen some of the promotional videos between Joey,
It's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
go and check them out. It's going to be an awesome
Is that on
stream.
Desert Dreams channel?
It's on Diz or Dreams.
Okay.
It's Dreaming
wasn't
with
sure.
Pals. Diz or Dream. The Nugget Challenge. I have to say I love Jeff, but I think
Joey's gonna beat him.
I'm Team Joey. I think it's maybe I'll just root for the underdog.
I'm going for Joey.
All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy the day. Thank you for giving me your Thursday. Bye, guys. All right.